we all have realized that post-COVID sleep is one of the most important factors that contribute to a good, healthy body, because it's just not the physical well-being; it's also the mental well-being. But yes, how many of us exactly go to sleep as soon as we go to bed? It's very very. I mean, sometimes it's very people those who are actually very lucky who actually whenever they go to bed and they can sleep easily. So there are such startups in this healthcare domain which can actually help you sleep easily with their offerings, which we are going to discuss today. So, hello, this is Smita Kumar, and you're watching Medicircle. And today, on our healthcare startup series, we have Surbhi Jain with us. With her interesting, the idea which she would be discussing with us today. Surbhi is the founder of Neend, a Bengaluru-based startup, and Neend app, as it's very clear from the name, it's a sleep app, and in its own regional language, it is providing relaxing sleep stories, soothing sleep sounds, and ambiences to help you sleep better or more effectively, because sleep plays a very important factor that we'll be discussing. Also, the sleep stories on the app are of a unique blend of activity based relaxation. Soothing narration is there, the music is calm, white noise, ASMR, hypnosis, and yoga nidra. So there are a lot of things that are there in this Neend app. So let's find out more from Surbhi. Hi Surbhi, welcome to Medicircle.
Hi, thank you, Smita. Thanks a lot for doing this.
Great connecting, and especially when I'm hosting a one entrepreneur, it really gives me a pleasure, because again we need more and more women power to the healthcare startup ecosystem. So tell us more about Neend, and I think it's a very good, first of all, word to start up with, and what actually, instigated you to start something like this? Because I think there are so many people who talk that yes, we are not able to sleep, and then again taking pills and other things. These are having side effects. Then going to meditation, moving on to meditation, nidra, yoga nidras, and other things which we will be discussing. So it's exactly a very big problem which is happening all around us. So tell us more about it.
Sure. So it all actually started, as you said, during the COVID period itself. I think in 2020 and during that period, me and my entire family got infected by COVID. And like I belong from a very small town, and my parents and everyone around was not taking COVID seriously. Being infected myself and my parents and my other family members. For example, my bhabhi was 8 months pregnant then, and she got infected by COVID. I think it was pretty stressful situation for all of us, and them not taking it seriously increased my stress level to certain extent, which made me basically I was awake throughout the night, continuously checking their oxygen levels, oxygen saturation level, and even temperature, etc. That sort of spoiled me on the sleep cycle part, and because I was infected, so I had weakness and all those kind of stuff as well. So I think a combination of physical health, mental health, then and even the lifestyle, or the sleep schedule, etc. What I was following, everything was messed up. So thankfully everyone got recovered from this, but I kept continuing having sleep related issues even after I got recovered from COVID. So for next 2-3 months I couldn't sleep well. I was sleeping throughout the days, waking up throughout the nights, and like in the day as well, the sleep was not good. So that was the time my entire plan, what I wanted to do in those 2-3 months, got on a toss. And then I started doing research to fix my own sleep. I was looking for products and services, etc., but I couldn't find anything effective. And that was the time then I decided that probably I should do something about it. And that was the journey. Talking a little bit about Neend. Sleep related problems, it's a myth that can only happen because of mental health related issues, but it can happen because of multiple factors across your physical health, mental health, lifestyle. For example, at what time you are doing what. So, for example, consuming coffee after 3 4 p.m. can take a toll on your sleep. Similarly, having late dinner also can take a toll on your sleep. Similarly, there are other like environmental or external factors as well. For example, in cold environment, you happen to sleep well and you happen to fall asleep quickly as well. So there's so many factors which impact your sleep. How do you really fix it? Either you fix these factors or you provide something which is very soothing or comforting or relaxing, and then relaxing is the natural sort of step towards sleeping. If you are relaxed, you can't be relaxed more than like a couple of minutes in the static state. So we said, let's solve for relaxation, and that would automatically take care of sleep. And let's start with content, because content is something which is a one fit solution for everyone, irrespective of what kind of challenge they are facing. Is it mental health, physical health, or whatever? And that's how the journey started, basically.
Great. But as we all know that sleep is really, really essential, and it's really essential for every process of the body, like body of affecting our physical and mental functioning, the nature of how we are going to function, our ability to fight diseases, and also develop immunity. It also affects the metabolism and the chronic disease risk. So there are a lot of factors, and I would like to share one survey by Fitbit here. Like India is the second most sleep deprived country with an average night sleep of 7 hours and a minute, while Japan is the most sleep deprived country globally with an average sleep of just 6 hours and 47 minutes. So as we discussed, what is the need of such a app? Definitely, there's a need because there are many such people who are having sleep issues due to so many reasons. Just as Surbhi mentioned. So, but when you started Neend, so there are some other sleep tech startups also, Surbhi, like Moshi and Visa. So tell us the differentiators or the unique value proposition that Neend is offering.
Sure. So yeah, when we started as well, then as well there were multiple these products which I happened to try for myself as well, honestly, and I. Unfortunately, those didn't work for me, and we tried to sort of then fix those problems, which was not working for me. So let me talk about those. So, for example, there are a bunch of these apps which has bedtime stories, music, meditation, etc. And why bedtime story should work is very simple. It worked for us in the it's something which is ancient. Our parents or grandparents also used to tell us bedtime stories, and their grandparents also. I mean, it happened that way. So, and scientifically as well, it sort of makes sense because when you listen to something relaxing, your brain waves sort of the amplitude reduces, and that is the step before sleeping. So if you relax a little bit more, then you'll get into the sleep zone. But yeah, why did these apps or like couple of similar apps did not work for us is because most of these apps are in foreign languages. The accent is also different, even if we understand English, for example, and our day-to-day life is 90% of the times we use English, right? But then also when it comes to sleep, the sleep content is a very passive sort of a use case where you don't want to put attention while listening to it. But if you listen to a foreign language in a different accent, you will automatically put some attention towards it, which puts your brain into concentration mode rather than a relaxing mode, right? So the purpose sort of gets defeated there. And on top of it, all these content pieces which are available out there has different context as well. So, for example, they talk about Norwegian countries or an antique shop in US or something like that, which if I haven't been there, I wouldn't be able to relate. So what we said is that let's build something for Bharat. Let's build this in our mother tongues, in our context, and in familiar voices, someone from our family is basically telling the story to us. And that's something which is building a lot of comfort for the users. This was a differentiator to begin with, honestly. But we are going and taking a lot of steps towards better sleep and better health. We are not just stopping at the content, we are also trying to help people sleep with a couple of other products. So, for example, we recently launched our commerce store where um, we do have a couple of curated and crafted products, and these products are pretty unique in itself. So, like sleep supplements, for example, in different shapes and sizes, which would help the customers to fall asleep quickly. And on the content side as well, honestly, more than 92% users fall asleep just within 15 minutes, which is um, effective as compared to anything else out there.
Definitely. But when, as you mentioned that like our grandmothers and their grandmothers used to tell stories, and that was the best way we used to fall asleep. But yes, as we are moving towards more and more modernization, nuclear families, sometimes we don't get those privileges which we used to get earlier. So having these kind of apps also in a native language, which with a very comfortable and convenient voice, would be much soothing for the person who's trying to sleep asleep. Uh, as you have also raised some funds, I think 7 lakhs USD in a pre-seed round by Better Capital. So how are these funds being utilized, and are you raising funds second round or in the second round also?
So, we have already expanded to a couple of languages, but we want to increase our, we want to expand on linguistic front. We want to increase a couple of more geographies as well. That's one. Second is we want to go deeper into the product portfolio as well, what we have talked about. So I think that's the plan for before the next fundraise. And once we are sorted on that front, I think in this coming new year, I think then we will go for the next fundraise as well.
That's great. So, as sharing one more report here, that it also states that Indians are sleep deprived and get less than 8 hours of sleep, as I just mentioned, 7 hours and 1 minute. Additionally, it also takes on the economy as well, as 11% of the respondents took leaves from work due to lack of sleep, while a similar proportion fell asleep at work. We generally find sometimes our colleagues sleeping during daytime in offices. Some are really due to sleep apneas and other health conditions, but some of them are really due to because they are sleep deprived. A whopping 58% of respondents said that their work suffered from lack of adequate sleep. So it's not just a small problem as it is being seen, and we may take it lightly that it is a thing which has been now become a part of our lives, but it is actually going to have so many effects on our health. Because if we get good sleep, there are so many things we can maintain or lose weight, or we can have better concentration and productivity. We can also maximize our performances. We can strengthen our hearts. We can basically, it also affects the sugar metabolism. It is very much needed because India has become the diabetes capital of the world, and it actually increases the risk of type 2 diabetes by 48 to 18% respectively. Especially in an analysis which has been done on around 36 studies and 1 million participants, and they found that the people who were like short sleep of fewer than 5 hours and short sleep of fewer than 6 hours, actually it increased the risk of developing type 2 diabetes by 48% and 18%, which is quite high. It is also linked to depression because again, mental health is a very important factor that we are having. But yes, again, it's so much stigmatized that we don't speak up so easily, even with our family and friends. It is also actually good sleep also affects our immune system. It helps improves good immune system, creation of antibodies. So there are so many things which are actually linked with a good sleep, and there is definitely a dire need of such kind of solutions if we don't actually are able to sleep on our own with these things. But tell me, Surbhi, one question which I would like to ask here, like, what is the customer experience after having your apps, and is there anything that are they, addicted to? Because again, when we try something for our sleep, generally we get addicted to that kind of a solution. In your case, how true is it?
Sure. So I think more than 92% of our users fall asleep while listening to the content within just 10 minutes
Oh,
itself.
wow, that's
So I think, yeah. So I think they're addicted to it because of the effect it's creating in their life. So there has been cases which we come across pretty regularly now is that people who have been on sleep pills for a couple of years now because of some or other reasons are also getting rid of those pills and like completely just dependent on the Neend app, which doesn't have, by the way, any side effect because it's just an audio which you are listening and it's a natural process. It doesn't have any side effect. It doesn't have any addictiveness in terms of having any withdrawal symptoms. It's pretty healthy that way. Yeah, they are addicted in some way, but because of the awesomeness of the
So if we are listening to good content or having a good visual, definitely it is very much good for actually renal patients or also heart cardiovascular patients. Because sometimes they are, they don't have any other option. Many a times they are using these pills for a long time, and then they also don't affect for long hours. They don't get sleep even after having that pill. So it's really a need of the hour that we need something which is actually helping them sleep naturally. One another factor which we would like to discuss here, how lifestyle changes has increased the incidence of insomnia in females. Like you might be also having your customer persona, so there are males and females both there using your app. Like for an instance, according to the Sleep Foundation data, females have a lifetime risk of insomnia that is as much as 40% higher than that of men. Now, this is something very eye-opening. I thought that it's only men who don't get sleep, but it is actually the female who don't get sleep easily, and they are at 40% higher risk of insomnia. So, what is your customer feedback, especially when you are taking into consideration the women folk who are there using your app, and how beneficial it has been, and as per the ratios, is do you have a good number of women users who have downloaded the app and using it regularly?
Sure. So let me talk about why women face the issue first. Like why are they prone to have more to be more insomniac as compared to men, and that probability is more than in an increment of 50-60%. So if you see, like, even if we talk about India, right? So there are multiple factors. So, for example, cultural aspect. So women does most of the household work. So she's the one who wakes up first in the morning. And if it's a working woman, then she'll wake up first in the morning, do the household work, then go to office, then come back, then do the household work, and then she'll be the last one to fall asleep. Even that's the same pattern in our household, even if it's a homemaker as well. So she is perpetually then sleeps a little lesser. Second is that hormonal changes in your body. So for example, if you're pregnant, then you won't be able to sleep for like a couple of months. Then once your delivery happens, the kid won't let you sleep. Even on monthly basis as well, you are going through your cycles, and in that period as well, and just before that, during the PMS phase as well, you won't be able to sleep well. So and the stress level as well for women is a little bit more because of the multiple factors. So I think all these things collectively make them prone to be more sleep deprived, and then eventually build insomnia. So insomnia also builds if you don't treat it early, and if you are continuously being sleep deprived over the period of time, then you are not able to sleep properly when you want to or have some time as well. And this coming back to our customer base. So our customer base is somewhere 40% women, 60% men, though we expected it to be reversed because more women have the issue. But I think that's the reality of our country, that the internet penetration for women is lesser as compared to men. But if we compare it with other apps, I think our ratio is much healthier, and you can which we are not happy about as well, honestly, because this is unhealthier as well in some sense, right? So it's but that's the reality.
Yes, that is, and sometimes also women don't know prioritize on their health issues. With this medium, I would definitely like to seek advice for those women who are actually not able to sleep properly. Look for what are the reasons around, and definitely try to find a solution. If not, something need would be definitely a good option for them to get a sleep if it's not a medical issue. Just a quick one, Surbhi, there that during this journey, as you started post COVID, during the COVID, and you were developing something which was really beneficial and helpful for the people at that time. Again, as it's have become a lifestyle issue, there are so many other factors also attached to this, which definitely gives birth to such kind of solutions which we are looking forward to. But during this journey, you might have also faced some learning, and which is definitely improvised on your approach on taking things, taking life. So, do share some of the experience with our entrepreneurs here.
Sure, happy to. Um, d- okay, I just wanted to like talk about our basically scale of the business as well. At like probably in a different question, but yeah, sure. Cool. So like in terms of I think it's too early for me to give advice, but since I've gone through the early stage of at least I like beginning part, I would say I'll what I'll say is that don't think too much. A lot of new young entrepreneurs keep investing a lot of time in thinking and contemplating whether this would work or not. I would suggest just go with your use your gut feeling as well a little bit and experiment as soon as possible and learn from your customers rather than talking to either senior entrepreneurs or experts in that field, etc. Your customer would tell you the best. To give you an example, I have started Neend as a YouTube channel to begin with to do the MVP. If I had been waiting for the app to be developed, then there were other sort of issues like chicken egg. How would you bring the customers? If you bring the customers as well, then you have to have certain sort of number of pieces of content as well on the app, etc. So I just started with a YouTube channel by putting just 3 stories on the channel, and that's it. The random customers, I mean strangers, basically started coming. They started asking for more content, and then that gave me some conviction that we should build a little bit more and see how it goes. So and those customers asking for the content itself gave me the confidence that something like this would work and is the need of the hour. So my one suggestion would be that learn from your customers, do the MVP, give it to the potential customers in whatever way possible, and get the unbiased feedback as compared to getting like asking others that should I do it or should I not do it, or like yeah.
Definitely, product market fit is definitely needed because we need to know what product we are opening for whom. And I think customer is the best person to tell us that. So, as based out of Bengaluru, but you might be definitely catering to your entire country, India. As I just was surfing your website today, so I found there are a lot of products and bedtime stories and other things are there with a 1 million user base. So, what are the expansion plans exactly, and what are the products in base, especially expansion in the terms of other products which are there in the pipeline?
So actually, we crossed from 1 million user base like a couple of months back itself. We didn't get time to update it. So we have touched more than 3 million customers in at an overall level, and Neend stories, meditation music has been heard more than 2 crore times so far. Yeah. In terms of the in terms of the like expansion, we just want to build the product for a little bit more on the number of languages we are in. So for example, currently we are in Hindi, English, Tamil, Telugu and Marathi. In couple of these languages, we haven't built it to the extent we want to be. So we want to go a little deeper and if possible, launch 2-3 other languages. And otherwise, we are building for Bharat, so I think geography is not a constraint. Everyone and anyone in India is and potential customer basically.
That's great. So thank you so much, Surbhi, for connecting with us today. We wish you and Neend all the best to achieve its motto of achieving their dream of making people sleep and see dreams while they are falling asleep. And all the best for all your future endeavors. Thank you once again for joining.
Thank you.